Hello, everyone who lives in and around the great city of Albany, New York. Hey, Albany, Georgia, you posers. There's only one Albany, and it's in the great state of New York, and don't you forget it. And you want to know how I know there's only one Albany, and it's in New York? Yeah, New York is right in the name. Checkmate, Brian, checkmate.
You may want to set your king back up because there's 28 total Albanys in the U.S.
28 Albanys in the U.S.
28.
28 Albanys.
There's one in Oregon, Indiana.
There's only one. You know what? There's only one Albany with an unfinished egg. Yeah. So the other Albanys can suck it. They can suck our big, fat, unfinished egg. There, I said it.
I don't even want to talk about the egg anymore.
I said it.
I'm done with the egg.
I'm not going to talk about it either until they finish it. It's got to be finished. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the Albany News Update Show, and I am your loquacious host, Jonathan Madden, and with me, at least for the near future, is Brian McKenzie. Brian, how are you doing this evening?
Should be foreseeable future. And
foreseeable, yes, foreseeable.
I'll make the determination on that.
Oh, okay. All right.
And I'm doing tremendous, as always.
I can see that. I can see that. Your jovial self is always a pleasure to have on the show. Okay, viewing audience, I'd like to address some controversy from the last show when I apparently pressured Brian to say the acronym for our show. HR told me that I made Brian uncomfortable, and he felt he was in a hostile work environment. So I just want to apologize to Brian and remind our audience that the correct pronunciation of our show is A-News. A-News, Brian. It's a long U. So I was just trying to remind you that our acronym is A-News, and not trying to get you to say the name of a certain body part where comes out. I said No, stop beeping me. I said I'm not swearing. Stop beeping the word. Okay, all right. I'm sorry, sensor person. I got a little. Are we done? Yes? Done? What a. Also, you may notice that we have switched places. We've switched places because for some reason the video on our last show was mirrored. I think it was mirrored. They couldn't see your wonderful shirt, and a few keen-eyed observers, there it is, a few keen-eyed observers noticed that the plaza behind us was actually in reverse, so good job, keen-eyed viewers. Why was it mirrored? Because we have no idea what we're doing, and we didn't notice it until the show was almost done, and I was not going to turn around and do it all over again. So, stop analyzing every little detail. Let's get on with the show. News 6 Albany reported that Bethlehem police arrested a 32-year-old Delmar man who was accused of stealing $63,000 worth of copper and brass from the town water department while he was employed there. $63,000, Brian.
That takes some brass balls.
Yes, it does. Are you going to be here all night?
I'll be here all night.
You're going to be here all night. Okay. And here's the thing. That's it. It's a short story with no more detail. There's no more detail. But we, at the Albany News Update Show, couldn't let this rest without finding out exactly how the man managed to steal that much copper and brass. So, we tracked down the man, and he told us exactly how he managed to steal that much copper and brass. It's actually a brilliant plan. Are you ready for this, Brian? Are you ready?
Got nothing else to do.
I don't think you're ready, but here we go. Step 1, convince your employees you have a bum knee. Step 2, convince your employees you are very well endowed. Step 3, every day shove a brass or copper pipe down your pants. Step 4, walk out the front door like you own the place. And step 5, repeat 12,732 times. based on the cost of brass at that moment. Maybe more or less times based on where the price is at that moment. But that's how you steal $63,000 worth of copper and brass.
And yet the coppers still were on to
You are terrible. He is making this stuff up. This is not in the script. He is just making this stuff up. You are on fire.
I'm incorrigible.
You are on fire. You're on fire. All right. Let's move up to Saratoga, where it is getting crazy up in Saratoga, people. The Times-Union reported the city's Design Review Commission narrowly approved a controversial proposal for a 6-story building at 269 Broadway that neighbors and historic preservationists say will overwhelm the street. One of the commission's members, Ellen Sheehan, said the building, quote, looks like a cruise ship docked on Broadway. All right, here's the building. Yes, and here's a cruise ship. Building and cruise ship. Building, cruise ship. Building, cruise ship. You know, I'm beginning to think Ellen Sheehan has never been on a cruise. But that's just me. That's just me. The Troy Record reported that the New York State Public High School Athletic Association, NYSPSA, has announced it will be subject to the New York State Department of Health, NYSDA, guidance for large-scale indoor events for 2 of its state tournaments. Lesiftoist, the Wikhatibabukaka, in which all attendees or a intuitive in accordance with NYSDO. The guidance is IFLICIOFOAG.
You know, not everything is an acronym. Some things are just a long name.
But it started that. The headline is what convinced me that everything had to have been acronized in that.
You got a 14-letter acronym in there.
I don't make the rules. I'm sure there's a few departments in New York State that have 14-letter acronyms. I will find them for our next show. No, I won't. All right, let's move on. The Times-Union reported that a longtime family law attorney from Delmar was suspended from practicing law for 6 months. 6 months for professional misconduct that included having sexual relationship with a client. Brian, I don't think that's what they meant by attorney-client privilege. That could be me. I don't think that's what they meant. The 5-0 ruling by the Appellate Division of State Supreme Court's 3rd Department said it was undisputed that the lawyer's actions violated the rules of professional conduct for attorneys. Wait, there are rules of professional conduct for attorneys? I didn't know that was a thing. Oh, yep, yes, they are, and it's not a long list. Here it is. Number 1, you cannot have sex with clients if there's a chance of getting caught. And number 2, if you are an accident litigation attorney, you must produce at least 72 commercials a week and put it everywhere. Everywhere, yeah, I'm looking at you, Martin Hardy Namazati, and you too, William Mattar. We get it.
I wonder if they took the bar together before the encounter.
I maybe. In local sporting news, in the Herb Sweet Tennis Ladder Competition at the Tri-City Fitness Club in Latham, Hugh J. Hull was defeated 6-4, 6-1 by Brian McKenzie. McKenzie utilized a powerful serve mixed with punishing ground strokes to secure the easy victory and move up into the upper echelon of the rankings on the local tennis ladder. How does this qualify as local sport? Did you squeeze the story in here? Do you even play tennis? I don't know anything about you.
I played, I beat him at the Tri-City Racket Club the other day.
I'm assuming so. I didn't know you played tennis. But
what else is there to talk about local sports in this area?
There are local sports in this area.
It's been dead since the Rats left town. How many years ago was that?
Don't we have a lacrosse? Don't we have a lacrosse team?
Who knows? I don't know. You watch the evening news.
Did Arena Football come
Other than ANUS, and what do you see? Scholar Athlete of the Week? I mean, who cares about that?
A news. You don't have to say that. I told you the right
High school
way
athletics?
to say it.
Come on.
Oh my gosh. You're killing me.
Boarfest.
It's there. We'll get a professional sports team one day. Mark my words.
We had them and we lost them.
One day.
Capital District Islanders, Albany River Rats, Albany Devils. I went to those games. It was a mausoleum in there. That's how empty it was.
You're bringing me down, man. You're bringing me down.
Okay.
This is supposed to uplift, make people smile, not get them depressed. Do you know we're in the middle of a pandemic?
Well, listen, I gave you
Pandemic.
a story to focus on there.
Oh my gosh.
With some brilliant tennis skills.
Yeah. Tennis.
And
Tennis
I won
isn't
the
even a
match.
sport. How can you even consider that a sport?
And there's going to be a lot of people offended by that. The Australian Open is going on right now.
It is, Sue. Is it? I don't even know.
Yeah, you probably don't even know who's in the final.
Don't even know.
I'm
I'm sure it's two names I can't pronounce.
Okay. Ian Anderson. Who is Ian Anderson?
Ian Anderson. He was an author. He wrote about tennis. No, I'm thinking of Hans Christian Andersen.
This, folks, this highlights area sports. Ian Anderson was a pitcher on the Atlanta Braves last year, the team that won the World Series from Clifton Park.
Yes. Okay. Yes.
And your hostess with the mostest.
I didn't know this was going to turn into a quiz show. It's an update show.
So
A satire. Not a sports show.
I slip in a little article
I'm sorry.
about my
No, you're right. It's a
prowess on the tennis court.
It's,
and
it's
you know,
something that should be celebrated.
God knows I don't get that much, that many stories to write about. Somebody has to take all
Hey,
the...
speaking of stories, it is that time in the broadcast for our bi-weekly. Are we doing this twice? Every 2 weeks? Every 2 weeks. Anyways, it's time in the show for my local compatriot here to rant and rave about things happening in the Capital District. Yes, you know it, as the BMac attack, Brian McKenzie, take it away.
Just scroll and make sure I can read the screen.
I will do that. I can do that.
All right. Jonathan, during the last show, you referred to Albany as being the armpit of New York.
Utica.
Perhaps in jest before disclosing that Utica...
Oh, yes, Utica. There it is.
...is indeed the true armpit of New York. What is it about these New York municipalities / armpits that an exodus is leaving the state yearly for seemingly greener grasses elsewhere? ANUS recently polled literally hundreds of thousands of Capital District residents and asked them that very question. So why are New Yorkers leaving? Well, the weather sucks. From November through March, the Weather Channel may as well just post an aerial photograph of a witch's when doing the weather on the 8s. How many of you have that Uncle Ned that talks about that joke about it's colder than a witch's are ready to kill yourselves after every single day he says it?
The censor is going to be livid. Go ahead.
Oh, folks, I apologize. Another reason. We're taxed up the wazoo. Huge markup in taxes, and you state government people still can't balance the damn budget. The cost of living should be the cost of barely living. So anyway, if we're going to be freezing our derrieres off, we may as well do it in the dirt cheap Dakotas, for God's sake. At least we can afford the long underwear. The good ones with the trapdoor in the back.
Ooh, trapdoor, yes.
Yeah.
I like those.
Anyway, we're not moving to the Dakotas, regardless of how cheap it is there. So what do? Jonathan, folks, prepare to be blown away.
I'm ready.
Republicans, you're going to like this.
Uh-oh.
Albanians, you'll need a lesson on radical acceptance.
Oh, boy.
Here we go. I propose that we further along the global warming process. Yes, you heard that correctly. Increase global warming. We've already seen changes, haven't we? Who doesn't want to see that nice weather that we had in December all throughout winter? I say we warm up the atmosphere a few more degrees and you'll see huge changes in our weather from November through March. Let that polar ice cap melt. Think of the benefits. Jonathan, you're only going to have pasty white skin 5 months of the year.
Pasty?
Hello, lobster red and sunblock 150. New York City, that money pit that drains upstate New Yorkers of much of their tax dollars.
Ooh.
Well, voila, it's now underwater. And all of them are moving to the Poconos, West Virginia, and any other place in the Atlantic region that has higher ground. They won't go to the Catskills. No one goes to the Catskills anymore. Hasn't for decades. No need for our taxes to stay high now, is there? Because New York is gone. We're not supporting that 5-borough concrete monstrosity anymore. It's underwater. The sports teams that actually play in New York City will have to move to New Jersey, of course, joining the others already there. Some fans may want the Giants and the Jets to stay in New York amidst the catastrophic floods that are going to occur there. Viewers, I implore you, turn in your Tesla, your Prius, your economy cars for those 10 miles per gallon trucks and SUVs. Northern Rensselaer County, you've got the idea. Heck, Elon Musk is a dirty word over there. If that market, drugstore, or dollar store is within walking distance, forgo that walk. Hop in your SUV, crank that engine up, and drive it the 300 yards to your destination. Burn that fossil fuel. Farmers, breed the heck out of your cows. We need that methane.
This is not.
Ignore the scientists that say that animal flatulence is a problem. Flatulence has never been a problem. 50% of the world's population laughs at farts, while the other half pretends they don't exist. Guess which half I'm talking about laughs and which one pretends.
I'm not going to guess.
Exactly.
I'm not any part of this BMac.
You're married, you know. How can flatulence be a bad thing? Just think of the outer atmosphere as a huge Dutch oven. You know what a Dutch oven is?
I do. I do.
Okay, good.
Yes.
You're with me then.
I'm with you.
We're just pulling the blanket over all of our heads. We've got this, people. Now, as with anything, there are going to be some bugs that need to be worked out. California may burn to the ground. Republicans don't care about that. Cat 5 hurricanes will become yearly events. Not once a century events. Polar bears will be floating around on 10 by 10 foot chunks of ice, and there'll be other coastal cities completely inundated with seawater. Nice cities like Miami. However, I'm thinking things should be pretty good for the Capital District. As long as that stuff happens in other people's backyards, well, hey, it's all good, right? Our weather improves, our tax burden diminishes, and the cost of living should follow right behind it. Jonathan, I smell a Nobel Peace Prize here.
I don't think that's gonna happen, Brian.
Oh, this frigid snap? People may scoff at my plan.
Yes.
We need to step up our game. The next level.
Is it too late to keep him on the show? Do we even need to air? Do we need to air? Ladies and gentlemen, the BMac attack. I would say good job, but I'm very torn and confused with that one. But I'll let you have it.
I'm universally loved.
A few more stories here. The Five Guys in Clifton Park was recently targeted by a former employee for a burglary. The employee failed to turn in his store key upon leaving employment at the burger joint, and subsequently utilized the key in this attempted heist at a later date. Now, after gaining entry to the restaurant, he damaged a security camera and headed to the safe to remove the cash. As he was grabbing the cash, he was interrupted by a driver that was making a delivery to the restaurant. The former employee then helped the driver unload his truck, replaced the cash in the safe, and fled the restaurant. We are making none of this up. When troopers contacted the former employee to investigate, he turned himself in. Yes, it's difficult to believe this master criminal was apprehended after committing this well-conceived caper. It's not a forced entry. He knew the combination to the safe. Visual contact with a vendor. The perfect crime, indeed. There is no word yet if he will use the fast food defense when his case goes to court.
No doubt he'll take his case will be seen in the food court.
Food court, yes. I knew that was coming.
Man, I'm hitting home runs tonight.
Okay, the federal government is trying to auction off the former National Lead factory site on Central Avenue. Why is the federal government trying to auction off the site? Well, They've only spent the last 30 years cleaning up depleted uranium from the place. Viewing audience, virtual studio audience, this is right down the road from Westgate Plaza, right in Albany. Right, I don't know where it is, here. And right there. We'll just move the map. Move the map to where my finger is, right there. How did I not know about this?
It's closer to where you live than where I live.
But I've driven past that place hundreds, if not thousands of times. And this is the first I'm hearing about it? Bigger signs, people. We need bigger signs. And what are you doing? Hey, what?
It's a Geiger counter.
Is that me?
Whoa.
Is that... Oh my god.
Oh my god. You've already had 3 kids.
Oh my god. Oh no. Passed it along.
That's pretty high reading.
The U.S. General Services Administration says that for the low starting bid of $300,000 and a warning that the property is offered as is with no guarantee of its condition, though it warrants it will clean up any additional hazardous materials that may be discovered on the site. Well, that's comforting. Kinda. No, it's not. No, it's not at all. Everyone, thank you for joining us once again on the Albany News Update Show. Stay tuned for our next episode. One of us has a vacation in between here. Not sure when it will be, but we continue to live our busy lives while putting this together. Please, 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 please go out there, support our local news stations, our local news media, our local news radio, our local news, all kinds of stuff. Support them. Stay in tune with what's going on here. We live in a great city. We like to have fun with it. We hope you do too. Until next time, signing off for Jonathan Madden and Mr. Brian McKenzie. Stay safe. This pandemic is almost over, we hope. And let's just keep treating each other well. Until next time.